How does Star Citizen stop the data running profession from being just another cargo to haul? Can they make moving data around the verse different enough to shifting boxes? Data running gameplay has the potential to be implemented in a unique way that we've not seen in games before. Grab yourself a drink and let's take a look at why. No matter how grand our plans get, the first implementation of this game loop is going to be pretty basic. I think we've actually already seen what these early contracts will look like during the CitizenCon 2019 demo. Go to location, retrieve the data from the source onto some data running specific gadget, leave, deliver to the buyer, make some credits. And if that sounds a little familiar, just change the word data with the word box. I'm not saying this to rain on anyone's parade, quite the opposite in fact. I mean to say that if you're really excited by data running gameplay, don't be disheartened if that's what the first iteration looks like. There's obviously going to be more to it than that. One look at the ships tells us. Both the Herald and the Star Runner come with banks of servers as standard. Are these servers just space for more data, or do they make it much harder to steal than just some drive that can be looted from a body? Maybe data will degrade over time and these servers can be used to prevent or slow that process. Or possibly the servers are required to read the information at all, otherwise it's all just gibberish. I mean, of course it doesn't have to be just one of these, it could be any combination, but by having dedicated data running ships, CIG have sent a clear signal that the equipment they contain will give specific benefits or give them abilities other ships just won't have. The way data gameplay will be generated will also become a lot more organic. The Carrack and the Reclaimer, for example, already have server racks modelled, likely for exploration scans and the data downloaded by drones. There's actually a problem that CIG are grappling with that could be solved by data running gameplay at the same time as making it unique amongst all the games that I've played, certainly. Game developer Luke Presley explains exactly what that problem is.
Players will find that they are unable to communicate with the outside world via chat or mobiGlas, though they may find a way to communicate outside deep in the mine where the prison's kind of dampening fields or whatever they generate don't reach down there. But even then, we understand that we aren't able to stop players using an external communication software. So this is really just for players who want to role play, and it's the way that if we had a choice, we'd like it to be played.
I was actually in the room for that talk and it got me thinking. What if you don't know what prison you're at? Being imprisoned could happen in the system where you were caught, or any system connected to that one. It would be randomised, and as mobiGlasses won't give you your location, you can't tell people on Discord if you don't know. I actually caught up with Luke at CitizenCon and suggested this, and he looked just as impressed as you would imagine, having someone else tell him how to design the game, but if it does make it in, I'm claiming the credit. Which is all well and good, but how would this work in data running? Let's just say you're out in your Herald, and you pick up a signal that leads you to a crashed satellite. On that satellite are a couple of data cards, and, thanks to the servers that you have on your Herald, you're able to decrypt them. Now, most of the data on it is absolutely trashed. What you do find is part of a data burst transmission, indicating a possible anomaly on a nearby planet. Of course you head off to investigate, you land and discover the wreck of a Javelin-class capital ship. Now this thing could get flying again. It's going to take an org to do it, but that org is going to pay you very handsomely because, so far, you're the only one with the position of this ship. Before anyone dismisses that as wishful thinking, this is actually how CIG intend for us to find big capital ships like this. Orgs are going to have to invest massive amounts of resources to get them back to being serviceable, and they're going to end up fighting if that position becomes more well known. Now, if CIG gave us the ability to make and share waypoints rather than having some sort of coordinate system for space and planets, that sort of information would be pretty damn valuable. Waypoints could be easily shared amongst crew on the same ship or transmitted between ships that are close together with very little risk. But try and transmit that information to your Org HQ 4 systems away or to some data broker to be sold, and you run the risk of that information being hacked or intercepted and the location being compromised. That would be a really interesting decision by CIG. We can still use the map for everything that we want, everyone on our crew can still see all the waypoints, but rather than having some sort of latitude and longitude system for navigating around where I could just write that down and tell you, using waypoints means that data is also something that is valuable within the game, and now data runners have a real scary purpose. I mean, I can imagine you flying that Herald with the waypoint for this thing, knowing how much money you could get for it, and then having someone lock onto you, it would be a really tense, really rewarding section of the game, I reckon. Genuine, useful information that is hard to get any other way, used as an in-game commodity. If data runners could sell the location of wreck sites and alien ruins and undiscovered mineable asteroids and cave entrances and everything else in the game, the profession really will take on a life of its own. And hey, I get that the waypoint star chart idea might not be to everyone's taste, but the core of the idea is sound. Being able to buy a data packet with the location of a rich mining site, or the info needed to blackmail an NPC, or the times the guards change at a site you're trying to break into, would create a genuine demand that those wanting to do data running can supply. There are endless opportunities for it to fit really well in the reputation system, not just with the AI, but with other players. You would be able to build yourself the reputation that suits your character. Want to be the data broker who never betrays their client and for whom integrity is everything? You can do that. Want to double cross and maximise your profits, making copies or pointing interested parties in the right direction? You can do that too. If you know much about EVE Online, you'll know that there are players out there who've made themselves reputations, not because they're massive PvPers, but because they are trustworthy in a universe where everyone just wants to slot each other. It's this profession where I see some really clear opportunities to do just that. Now, just like mining is to refining, data running and hacking are going to go hand in hand, and we know with the hacking gameplay that's going to come in 3.14 that there's going to be some sort of mini game that goes on the inside of your visor in order for you to complete a successful hack. But to go into hacking in any great detail right now would easily double the length of this video, so I'll leave that for a future date. If this has left you excited for data running, leave me a like and let me know down in the comments. With both the Mercury Star Runner and the Drake Herald being listed as medium data ships, which one would you prefer to fly? You've been watching Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.